gone for another ride. It's just about 15 to 17-minute ride. On the side streets, it's very, very, very snooty. Just gonna do a little turn around here. You snuck up on me. It's like watching for you somewhere around here. Amanda, my name is Biniam. Nice to meet you as well. Before we get too far in our trip together, Amanda, just want to give you a heads up. In my Uber, I live stream. Just wanted to give you a heads up so you don't share things you don't want going on the internet, like your bank account number or your SIN or that kind of thing. Not that people have just a desire to share that with me per se, but just want to give you a heads up that way.
But you won't be posting a video of me online. I just heard it off.
You're not on the camera, no. Yeah, it's just me on the camera. Here's my screen right here, you see? Yeah. But just so you know, they will be able to hear conversation and so on. So I just didn't want you to say anything that incriminates you along the way. Yeah, I do want to protect your privacy that way. That's important as well. You're welcome. By the way, guess what day today is? Wednesday. Some people call it hump day if they get the weekend off. I'm not sure if that's your lot, but if it is, hump day. I was actually quite surprised. I came out this morning and I was anticipating we would have like weather like we had yesterday. It's not like yesterday. It's like cloudy and foggy. Yesterday was sunny and nice and warm. So I was a little sad about that this morning. I was like, oh man, winter is calling again.
It's better than last week, I think.
I agree. When it was snowing and cold, oh my goodness. Yeah, I agree with you there. Even just a few moments outside was challenging, right? Yeah. But I would say if this is your regular start to a morning at this time, you must be the envy of many who start earlier. You know, a nice, easy coasting into a day is lovely. I'm usually up like very early in the morning as well. But this morning I decided to have just a little later of a start, so I'm on the same schedule.
What got you into live streaming?
Great question. I've been creating videos about my experience as an Uber driver for quite a few years now, and the reason behind that is just the desire to share amazing human moments I get with my riders, conversations that we have, the things that we explore together. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's really spread a lot of encouragement and inspiration for many around who watch my content. But then whenever I ask for consent when I record the videos, I would say probably 80% of the rides that I had, I would never ask to share because it was just very personal, like too personal, that I was like, no one has any business knowing this, right? But it's meaningful. But then I had this awareness that in the content that I presented, it had just one sort of a theme where all people ever saw was like the ones that said yes, the enthusiastic yes is what I usually go for, but they never got to see the other sort of interactions I have and how they evolve, right? For example, one of the things I feel strongly about is what does consent look like, especially online, when you're handling people's stories? How do you safeguard that? How do you... And so when all of my content showed the enthusiastic yeses, I was thinking there isn't really an opportunity to also show what it looks like when I receive a no. When, for example, like we have so many other experiences, again, that they didn't get access to. And also the evolution of how I curate my conversations. There are some rides that are quiet, there are some rides that aren't, you know? And I just wanted to give a better balanced perspective of what my experience as a driver was. So that was part of the motivating desire that said, let me show in real time what this experience looks like instead of all the, yay, you're amazing in your connection to me. It's not always a home run, right? Despite my intention and my desire to connect with people, there's such a diversity across the board. Now, yes, most of them I get wonderful experiences with, but sometimes people just come in and it's a different mood and they just need a quiet ride, right? And so what does that look like, for example, and how do I sort of go through that experience? And so, it was a desire at the heart of it to say, can I show the real-time evolution of how my day as an Uber driver goes and how I connect with such a diverse group of people with my social skill set. And in so doing, also just kind of give that more realistic picture. But to do this, I think the real challenge I had to wrestle with for a few months, it took some months. I was thinking through how do I also, the key point was in a live stream where it's already online in the moment, how do I safeguard that privacy factor? And after mulling it over and just thinking and talking with many, I finally came to this arrangement where I'm like, hey, if I have the camera only on me, give disclaimer right at the outset, in this setting, this might be able to work. And so I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks now. And it's been it's exciting when you're walking into a new space that you've never experienced before. And no one has done this before. So you don't have a mold to like follow, but you have to think through some factors to make it actually happen practically, right? That's why. Great question, though. I appreciate it. Yeah. So along the way, it's always a learning experience. There's things I'm learning as I go along about the way my audience engages and interacts. So like one of the things I've communicated with them beforehand is when I have a rider in the vehicle, this is my business. This is my primary business here. So I'll keep track of the comments and so on coming in, but I won't be chatting with them as much as I'm connected over here. After my rider's left is when I'll connect with them and catch up with the comments and questions and that kind of thing. If there's things they say along the line that are kind of, in line with our conversation, then I'll loop that in if possible. But it's just my way of helping them understand. You're invited into this experience as a fly on the wall, and to derive, any encouragement or inspiration. And then I'll tend to you guys after I have my primary priority here to tend to first. Yeah. It's kind of exciting.
Are they saying anything now?
They are, yeah. There are a few coming on. They're saying hello. They say hi. They want to say hi to you as well. So yes, yeah. There's a few on here already. Like I say, it's very new. So the first week I had like no one on the live stream because I've been shifting my platform. Up to now, my main platform has been on TikTok. So that's where I've built quite a community there. But now I'm shifting from there to YouTube as my primary one. So it feels like I'm starting from scratch again, which is part of the dynamic. And so, yeah, like I say, the first week there was no one on there. Now it's about 2 to 10 people at any given moment. And so it grows slowly. It can grow slowly. But one of the things I feel is one of my superpowers is patience. So I don't feel like I'm in a rush. Like to come back to this experience, like the work that I was doing before I came back to driving full time again, I've been working there for about 3 years. and it was a great working setting, really good company. But from the very beginning, when I started working there, I told them, listen, I'm leaving my job as an Uber driver full time to do this just for a few years because I need to figure out some ideas. But when I'm ready, I'm going to go back and do this full time. And so they've seen for a long time, Amanda, how excited I've been about this whole process, and they've actually joined in that excitement as well too. And so, yeah, it's been a long time for me coming here because even when I gave my notice there, they had already asked me to step into management, and so I had some responsibilities. So even then, I knew I didn't want to just give 2-week notice because that's too short for the roles that I'd taken on. So I gave them like 3.5 months notice. And it's not because I wasn't enthusiastic and excited about coming back. I really was. But I also really care about the way I leave things behind too, you know, and the kind of work that I accomplish. And even like in my goals in this new venture here, I'm excited, but I'm also, I want to do it well. I want to do it right. So I don't want to rush the process. So, yeah. Of course, you're expecting this kind of an experience when you got in your Uber this morning, right? The fog is really thick up here, isn't it? This is crazy.
You can't see beyond these lights.
No. Sometimes it's bad that you can't even see the car like between me and him now, which is kind of sketchy then, but yeah.
How many followers do you have? If it's okay for me to
I do. Yeah, I don't mind asking. On which platform?
I guess, is this on YouTube?
This is YouTube,
Okay.
yeah. So on YouTube now I have maybe about 1,200 right now. So that's a nice, good start. Yeah. 1,200 so far on YouTube.
Yeah, and this was just a few weeks ago you started.
So no, YouTube I started like years ago. But when so before all this live streaming happened, it was probably like 900. Yeah, it's probably 900, and that was just a couple of weeks ago. So now it's at 1,200. So it's going slowly. Yeah, it's an interesting world when you're in the online social content creation zone. A huge part that I think they watch is what kind of influence one has. It's like almost a new currency, if you will. So what we're doing is we're sharing ideas, experiences. We're I guess, we're in the currency of getting people's attention. But my question behind that is, what's the intention behind getting people's attention, right? There are some who have, I don't know, there's different motivations in my observation of why people want to put themselves out there and garner that kind of attentions. I'm very interested in saying, tell me more about what's driving us. What's the motivation, you know? Yeah.
What's your YouTube channel name? I can follow you.
Oh, lovely. Let me give you my card. Is that okay? Here. This gives you just a little bit more about what I'm up to. It's got all my channels, including YouTube, on there, but the handle's on the back. Yeah. So you feel you know me a lot better now. Isn't that cool how that happens though? Like before you had no idea what made me and then now. And you haven't told me very much about yourself, but I've learned a lot about you too. I've learned that you value your privacy. I've learned that you're inquisitive. You're careful. You're quiet.
That's true.
I know. little breadcrumbs I picked up along the way. And I didn't even ask.
You're a part-time psychologist.
You know, I've heard that quite often. I've got quite a few good friends who are psychologists, and they're like, Biniam, why don't you come join us? Like, you're made for this. And I say, I feel so much freer when I get to do what I do, though. So, and I mean, I value the job that psychologists do for sure. But
like, I'm aiming to become a psychiatrist.
Okay.
You might be able to pick up based on certain
Yep.
characteristics.
Nice. Now, why psychiatry over psychology?
Well, with psychiatry, I feel like I get more range,
Yeah.
like more reach. So, as a psychologist, I'm more limited to psychotherapeutic techniques. But with psychiatry,
Yeah.
I have access to medications for
Yeah.
my patients.
Yeah.
I don't think I would push for medications. I know that
That you
they
don't
have,
feel.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And also with psychiatry, we're dealing with a more severe,
Circumstances.
yeah, a more like severe population who's being affected.
Yeah.
And I'd also say a more misunderstood population. So like I'm drawn to helping
Those individuals.
Yeah, those individuals.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm passionate about helping like marginalized communities.
Mm-hmm.
Basically up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my undergrad degree in a humanities background,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually quite non-traditional for like a lot of people who go into medicine and like pursue psych.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like it's for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
When I was training in psych,
Yeah.
I always knew like I'm very passionate about this, but
Yeah.
I also felt like if I don't make a difference for my
Yeah.
patients, then
Yeah.
it tells me like maybe this is not for me.
Mm.
But based on my experiences, based on the feedback I got from my patients,
Mm-hmm.
it basically confirmed.
Affirmed it. Yeah.
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 Because patients will be pretty blunt.
They will, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
So you can trust their feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I appreciate hearing that. Is it fair to say psychiatry encompasses psychology, but it just goes a little further? Is that a good way to say that? It reminds me of a distinction between two words I've recently been just learning more about, and that's the words that seem like synonyms. That's authenticity and integrity. And I'd almost describe it in a similar way where you can have authenticity without integrity, but you can't have integrity without authenticity, which is another way of saying you can have psychology without psychiatry, but you can't have psychiatry without psychology. Similar, right? Yeah, interesting. That's helpful conceptualization. So you're in the midst of your studies still. And how much longer do you have in that commitment?
About like 6 months.
6
I
months,
might
oh, wow.
extend it.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on whether I want more training in psych.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the studies, do they tend to be stressful or like invigorating? Or both end?
It can be both.
Yeah.
Say right now, maybe I'm in a more stressed out place.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not showing it.
No,
or maybe
you
in
aren't.
certain ways I am. I don't know.
I don't think you are. I didn't pick up on it. That's why I was asking.
Basically, I need to study some subjects that are not very psych-related, but
Yeah.
required for me to get through my degree.
Yeah.
Am I saying anything?
Gotcha.
Are your followers saying anything interesting?
They are. I always get compliments on my bow tie based off of what they're wearing instead of off the character. It's an interesting reflection. Yes. No, it was more on the lighter side that they're still alive. Okay, let me just see which house I'm pulling in. On the left.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I am so thrilled I got some time with you. I enjoyed your company. Thank you for... It was different, wasn't it? I hope to see you again sometime. Good luck in your studies. Thank you. Good morning, friends. How are you all? Let me see here. Eric says that pink bow tie off. He doesn't think I look great with it. You know, Connor, and at that time I was going to make friends with the color pink. One because I've been taught for a lifetime that it was a girl's color. Hi again, we're back. Okay, so I was just saying that pink was a color I'd always been discouraged as a guy from associating with, and it was something that like actually I don't buy that narrative anymore. And so to that end, I said I'm going to make friends with the color pink, and I'm going to wear more pink, and defy the story that I've been taught that you're gay or whatever if you wear pink. And I said not necessarily. I'm going to make friends with the color pink, even though it's not my favorite color, and feature it a lot more. And so I do this on purpose as my way of saying, hey, my masculinity is strong enough to accommodate and defy and dismantle these stereotypes and stories that we grew up learning. So yeah, take that for what you will. Just moments away from another ride here. This one's probably another 10-15 minute ride, I think. So give me a sec while I just watch for the house number I'm watching for. I'm very cautious what I say, so I don't even say their names until they're in the vehicle, nor their number of the house or the street, because I do want to protect their privacy. So yeah. I'm not Somali, no. I am Ethiopian, but very close. Very close. Very close indeed. Alright, hopefully I'm not stuck in this spot here. Good morning, everyone coming on. Hello, Eddie. I see you, my friend. How are you? Alright. I am in a part of the city now that is heavy with fog. So different from the clear skies we had yesterday and the beautiful sunrise and sunset. But it's winter. Here we are. We'll take it as it is, I suppose. I'm glad you're doing well, my friend. I am well as well. I had a later start to my day because I've been up for a few hours editing videos. So yeah, it's a bit of a later day for me. But here we are, on the job, out to make some memories, connect with some people, and right now here it is 9:45 in the morning, 9:40ish. 3:40. Remind me again, Eddie, where you are in the world, because that's like how many hours different? Oh, 3:40 a.m. Like you're like behind us or way ahead of us? Australia. Oh my goodness, brother, that's amazing. How many hours difference is that? That is like... That's like 12-hour difference, I think. Here's my rider. He's gonna bring me to the car, so I'm not even gonna bother opening the door for him. Hey man.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
I suppose it would be helpful for me to unlock the door, right?
Oh, so yeah.
Nice to meet you. How do I say your name?
Active.
I've never met one before.
Oh.
You're my first. Nice to meet you. I'm Binyam. Abden, in my Uber, I live stream, so I just want to give you a heads up at the outset, so you don't give away all your family secrets unknowingly.
Yeah.
Welcome to your Wednesday.
Thank you.
If I were to guess what your agenda is today, I'm going to guess you're able to go skydiving in the fog. Can you imagine how crazy that would be?
Yeah.
Actually, would you actually do that?
Yeah, I like skydiving.
In the fog, though? That would be pretty sketchy, wouldn't it? Not,
Maybe.
not being able to see where the ground is, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to see anything, really.
Yeah, that would be a little bit scary.
That would be so sketchy, yes. So, forget that idea. You're not going skydiving in the fog. Next guess. I'm going to guess you are off to meet your mafia members. Just kidding. You're a student.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you studying?
I'm in high school right now.
Cool.
It's last year.
Grade 12.
Yeah.
Amazing. And are you feeling excited about it or somewhat mixed feelings?
Yeah, it's kind of mixed feelings because for university I'm mostly planning to move out, so like it's kind of at the same time interesting, but also like
A new move.
yeah, it's like scared me off.
Totally. No, I totally get that. That makes sense. I remember when I was in grade 12, I think I was really sad because I'm like, this is all I've ever known. This is like the way my world makes sense, you know, like my community,
Exactly.
and my space, and so the unknown was kind of unfamiliar for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the exciting parts for you? Is it the independence? Is it?
Well, yeah, independence.
Yeah.
Also, like starting like university is like a new thing
Totally.
because like I mean we went to school. It's my 12th year to go to school, and
Yeah.
university is kind of a new thing.
It totally is. Yes.
So it's interesting, and then being independent.
Yeah.
Maybe a new city. Like these are all interesting, but also at the same time it's
Yeah.
just scare you off because you don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. No, I get that. That makes sense. So let me, if I may, let me share with you my experience when I went to university. On the one hand, like whereas in high school, you've had deadlines, you've had like a lot of help getting your work done. In university, you don't have that. You show up or you don't show up, no one really cares. They don't take attendance. And so that seems like freedom and flexibility there, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of a double-edged sword. Unless you're really good at the class and you don't need to be in class or whatever, then it's, then you're you'll learn eventually that this is gonna hit me hard if I skip enough classes and I can't catch up. All of a sudden you're overwhelmed. You're like, oh crap, like how do I do this, right? So with the freedom comes like that extra layer of responsibility. Close to that too is also your friendships that you have. You can do whatever you want. You can stay up all night if you want. You can like blow a whole week off and no one's gonna be on your case. But in the back of your mind, you know, I'm gonna be paying for this. Where am I gonna be paying for this, right? Like if I spend this freedom this way right now, how am I gonna like actually make this work? So it's that balancing act of responsibility when you're doing the things you don't feel like doing with doing the things you actually do enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
true.
So the real key factor now is like how do I sort of apply discipline on myself, and that's where the game is either lost or won.
Yeah, especially like if I were to stay in stay
Yes.
with my family,
Yes.
then like it would be less because like
True.
still like I'm living with my parents.
Yep.
But like if you just like if you go like some other city,
Yeah.
and like you're all on your own, then
Absolutely.
like it's just like all freedom. Like nobody's
Absolutely.
like telling you to do anything
Nope.
anymore. You need to figure it out yourself.
Totally.
And yeah, I mean it's just about the balance. Like I think like the only thing that scares me off is like if I just like go there and like maybe have too much fun like 1-2 nights and then you just like kind of like loosen it up and like
Yeah.
but at the same time like if you have a goal I don't think that's gonna happen because you want to reach somewhere.
True. And that's the thing. How do you prioritize your main commitments in life, like where you want to get to, like having that long-term thinking and saying, ain't no one gonna screw with these plans. These are so important. So like when they come up to you with a really juicy opportunity saying, bro, come with us on a week-long trip to like say Bali, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, that sounds like a lot of fun. But what's the cost on where my priority sequence is for my goals? Exactly. And maybe part of that is also, brother, finding like the right people who are rowing in the same direction as you. So here you are coming to a new setting, but who are you giving your time to? Who are you drawing like connections with, where both of you, like you're all having fun, but you're also rowing in the same direction towards your goals too. It's another skill.
That's kind of true. Like in high school, like people just go in different ways. Like someone will become like I don't know, a doctor. Someone's going to engineering. But,
Yeah.
like in university, like
Yeah.
like personally, I want to go to business school.
Yes, yeah.
So like everyone in that business school
Yeah.
have like kind of the same goal. Like
Right.
they just kind of like narrow it down to people that want to go like into business.
Yes. Now they have the same goals, but they may not have the same commitments to their goals.
Yeah.
You're looking for those that have a commitment to the way you do, or even better, where you're like, okay, I better like pull up my slack here and join these guys here, or you know, try and get in with this
Yeah,
group. That's the big thing too. Yeah. Why business, and like, what's the dream for you that you want to accomplish with business?
So like both of my parents are engineers.
Yeah.
And like kind of I don't know, maybe because they were like engineers and like I went even to their like office when I was a child.
Sure.
So found like engineering became
Yeah.
something boring for me. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to like find something new
Yeah.
to do because I know like lots of kids want to go to engineering.
Yeah.
But like when I say I don't want to go to engineering,
Yeah.
everyone is like, why? Like both of your parents are engineers. Like
Yeah.
why are you now wanna like go to engineering? Even my uncle is
Yeah.
engineer, so like it's a family.
It's a family thing.
Yeah,
Good.
and then I was like, okay, but I don't like I just want to try something new.
Yeah.
and like my academics are pretty good, and
Yeah.
like everyone is like, why are you not going to engineering?
Right,
Like
right.
you have really high grades, but
Yeah.
like I feel like first of all,
Yeah.
like mostly in business I like finance.
Yeah.
And I like banking stuff and
Cool.
economics, and it kind of grew when I like moved to Canada mostly, because then I see like, okay, like here there's more opportunities. Like
For
back
sure.
in my country, you're either becoming a doctor or engineer. Like
Yeah.
most of the countries in Middle East, like you don't have
Yeah.
much like opportunities. But
Sure.
then here I was like, okay, maybe I should like try like.
Yeah.
Like I have a by moving here, I got some new opportunities. Maybe I should try them out instead of going to the traditional way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean business school. My math was pretty good, so
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe finance is a good like branch to go into.
Sure enough.
And I mean you can get good jobs with it, but it's mostly like trying something new.
Cool.
And yeah.
And maybe there's also a season of exploration as you grow in your business studies as well. Something else that I'd encourage you to consider is, and this is what I'm doing personally, and I'll tell you by example how I'm doing this, but dream up a really audacious, outrageous goal in life that you want to accomplish. Something that you're like, hell no way I can do that, but can I? Maybe I can step up into that. That's scary, like the kind of goal that's scary. So for example, in my experience, I'm a full-time Uber driver by choice. I've got degrees for sure, I can do whatever, but I'm doing this job. Here's some of my goals in life. I'm gonna reach hundreds of thousands one day of young men to inspire them to live with integrity. That's one of my goals. I want to live in such a way, and I want to have such an impact that hundreds of thousands of men are saying, yeah, I'm committing to what life could look like if I were to live with integrity. That's one of my goals. That sounds unreasonable. Like that sounds like crazy. Secondly, in addition, as I can keep on making content the way I'm making, one of my goals as well in this is I'm going to get my dream vehicle. And then I'm going to drive my dream vehicle just for UberX only.
Cool. That's actually a nice goal. I like it. Like,
But you don't even know the reason why yet. Let me tell you the reason why. Do you know what my dream vehicle is?
what?
The Phantom.
Oh.
Like just, a Rolls Royce Phantom. I'm gonna get the Rolls, like the most expensive car ever, right?
Yeah.
Most luxurious.
Exactly.
Only on UberX. Why? Because I so believe that human connection is way more powerful than stuff connection.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get the most loveliest ride ever. I'm gonna make it available only for ordinary rides, not even for any Uber Plus or whatever. No, just UberX. Why? Then I get to meet people who are just doing their life and who can only afford a ride. It might be a $5 ride, and imagine a Phantom pulling up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So cool.
But the real goal with my audience that I want to wrestle with in this social experiment is there a way that humans can make a more powerful connection, even in the midst of an Uber in a Rolls Royce, than attachment to stuff? I'm not interested in like connecting with and being a driver for like rich and famous. No. I just want your everyday people.
That's a nice goal. Like,
Thank you.
it's just I think like you think differently, and like most people like just think as a goal that low. Okay, I become like I don't know engineer, makes lots of money.
Sure.
But like that's not the actual goal. Like
Yeah.
because
You're right.
those goals like money, of course, like
Yeah.
it's important. You cannot ignore it. But like
Sure.
having a more like deep goal is like I think it's more important.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, you got it. And that's why I'm sharing with you even my experience, saying there's more behind the why, right?
Yeah.
What's the thing that's going to so compel and grip you? So, I mean, kudos to you, like big kudos, Uptin, that you are wanting to move out on your own. That's not a bad thing. You were brought up this whole time in your 20 years now, almost 20 years plus, to experience what independence looks like. This is like where your parents get their final exam. Were they able to successfully create an independent human being who can go and sustain and live for himself?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So you're just walking into what you were made to do. But in so doing now, it's just finding out the why for you. What is that deep core dream or challenge or goal you want to pursue in life that helps you push through the next, I don't know, good decade of struggle through schooling, associations with friends and romantic relationships, just life in general,
Yeah.
are you gonna find that thing that's gonna grip you so deeply that you're like, yeah, this is not gonna be messed around with?
Yeah, I feel like I need that change to like kind of like become
Yeah.
independent.
Absolutely.
Because I think like if I were to stay here,
Yeah.
it would be really good. But then after a while, like
Yeah.
I would just maybe I will settle for less. Maybe
Sure.
just, like get an ordinary house here and like just settle
Right.
for less. So I just
Right.
wanted to like have that opportunity to explore more.
And that's brilliant. If you're able to give yourself space to explore, it's not like you have to know your answers right now, but as long as you're still in the game, as long as you're still in the race where you're like, hey, I'm still rowing. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm gonna find whatever that thing is that I'm so passionate about, that I'm so compelled about. That takes time. It took me decades to find mine. Decades. I'm at this place and I might look like amazing, but honestly, you haven't seen how long it's taken me just to get to this place, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time with you, brother. Thank
Yeah,
you for
me
sharing
too.
with
It
me.
was great talking with you.
Likewise, brother. Good luck.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Hello again, friend. I'm back. Louise, good to see you. It was a great ride, wasn't it? Great conversation too. Like, oh yeah, we were talking about some pretty big things, weren't we? Yeah, the kind of stuff we were just talking about there. I'm grateful I get to share that with you guys because that's some pretty powerful stuff. Ideas can seem, how can I say, ideas can seem simple until you believe in them. Just finished work. That's awesome, Anderson. Happy Wednesday to you, my friend. Well done on finishing work. Okay, Anderson, I'm trying to remember where you live. I know Eddie lives in Australia, way down there. So he's already in the morning of probably the 5th. He's like probably a day ahead of us, right? Almost a day ahead of us. That's like many hours away. Let me just catch up on my messages, guys. One quick second here. So, can you tune in now and watch you? Yay! UK, that's right. 5 p.m. already. So you're at the end of your day. My goodness. This is pretty powerful that we can connect this way all around the world, right? Pretty fantastic. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And share ideas and experiences. I just had a rider. I just dropped him off at the high school. I'm feeling good. I had a good sleep last night. I woke up, like usual this morning, but I did not go to work. I look happy. I am happy. I'm content. I spent the first few hours this morning just editing some shorts that I wanted to upload for the day. Because my goal, which is pretty aggressive, I want to try be putting out at least one short an hour every day, which is 24 shorts every day. That's pretty crazy. But I enjoy the process. I do. And I mean, live streaming here, I get to create so much more content, right? Like so much more content that I can share with y'all. Driving full time also gives me far more opportunities to share some pretty awesome experiences. And so in addition to working, I also have to do double time work in editing and getting all that ready to share as well. So the nice part is with these live streams, I don't have to do much editing. It just kind of gets uploaded afterwards, which is cool. I don't have much to do there, although I had to edit the previous ones that I was doing, but this is working really well. Anderson says, sounds like a plan. You're the man who will reach his goals. That phantom will be in your grasp before you know it. Love it, Anderson. Thank you. They'll be a big deal, right? There are some thoughts on how people talk about their goals. Some people are encouraged, don't talk about your goals. Like, just do it and surprise people. I have a different perspective. So for me, I like talking about my goals because then there is accountability there. Now I'm locked in, right? Eddie says that was a great conversation. Anderson says the car will be a bonus. The interaction with people is the main thing, as I heard you say on your video with the mechanic. Absolutely. Hell yes to that. I feel so strongly about that, Anderson. It's just, Yeah, it's a really powerful motivation for me to say, what's the why behind why I want to do this, right? So yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. So I talk about my goals so that others can hold me accountable over time, and even as I do it, it's the kind of thing where it doesn't come as a surprise to you guys when I do it, because you've heard me talking about it. Instead, it feels to me like you'll be able to celebrate more with me. You'll be able to celebrate more with me, saying, "We were there the whole time. We were rooting for you." We like you're almost energetically joining that process, right? Eddie says, "I just realized I started following you when I was 17. Now I'm almost 22. Holy crap, that is crazy, Eddie. I am I'm very honored. Thank you for following me. What I see there is an exchange by way of influence, right? You wouldn't be sticking around if it wasn't worth your while. But the fact that it is worth your while, I think that's why you're still here. And I appreciate you guys for being here in the room, figuratively speaking, engaging and interacting, and really supporting the work that I do. I value that. So thank you. That means a lot. Yeah. It's these kind of really good connections. It's like we are there with you. I like that, Anderson. It's these kind of exchanges that for me on the live stream, these kind of exchanges on the live stream that for me really inform the worth of what I'm doing on here. You know, it is a sacrifice for sure. There's things I say no to in life so I can have time to do these experiences and things with y'all. But in so doing, it makes it very easy for me to find when people come on the live stream that are just not vibing in the same way. It's like, you're in the wrong groove. You're in the wrong groove. You need to find another setting where your shenanigans will be appreciated, but they're not appreciated here. Just a quick note on a comment I had earlier about my bow tie, the pink bow tie. Someone was saying, "Man, your bow tie, it's pink. It makes you look like a geek, because it's pink." And I said, it reminds me of comments where others say that they don't trust people who wear bow ties. I'm like, it's your loss. Well, if you are to read a book by its cover and tell someone's worth just by what they're wearing, you're missing out on a lot of beauty in life. Because it's not what a person wears that determines who they are, it's who a person is character-wise, right? And in the same way, pink, it's a story that maybe this individual grew up with, saying they're discouraged from associating with or wearing. And I just like having the power to be able to think through carefully on these stories that we were brought up with, saying, is that really true though? Or is there a way that we can dismantle some stories and put together a new one that's more compelling, right? Is it 2 weeks only you have a live stream running? Yeah, it's only 2 weeks so far, brother. 2 weeks only. And when I started, I think on my YouTube channel, I was at about 900 plus followers at that time. And that's where it had been for years. And then now, since live streaming, Anderson, I'm at 1,200 followers now, which, let's see, that's about a growth of 300 people. Holy crap, 300 people. He was just attention seeking. You look good, and it's jealousy. Thanks, Ed. Jealousy seeking. Thanks, Anderson. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, that's crazy. In 2 weeks, 300 people have subscribed, which I attest to the live streaming, right? I'm not sure I quite understand yet why live streaming is such a big deal. Maybe it's just because you have an in-the-moment experience with the creator. Maybe. I don't know. I find this whole world fascinating. I keep on growing in the way things I'm learning about it. But I just knew that, this is apparently one of the things that really helps it go well. Yours is rare though. Why is my live stream rare, Anderson? I'd love to hear why. Is it snowing yet? Not really. It was a little bit tiny snow, Eddie, but now it's just foggy where I'm at in the city. But you see, Calgary is such a spread out city that we've got different weather systems across it. It's that large, crazy stuff. So once it gets noticed, it will draw people in. I see, Anderson. I hope so. You see, the funny thing, and I posted a short about this recently, based on one of the comments I made in a recent live stream. I was saying something like, I was saying something along the lines, Anderson, that I love editing my content, and even as I edit and post it, I'm like so entertained by watching the content that I create. So I know if I love it, I'm sure others will like it as well. So I'm so grateful for that. Eddie says, I wish it snowed for Christmas where I live in Australia, but it's plus 30-degree weather. That is crazy. Ah! And then he says, need the air conditioning at 24/7. Gotcha. Anderson says, I mean, Uber driving, live streaming, not many people have thought of that fabulous idea. Oh, gotcha. That is a really novel idea, isn't it? Now, full disclosure, before I started live streaming, before I even came back on here, I reached out to my connections at Uber. I reached out to them and said, hey, by the way, we've had a really great, relationship in the past, like where you guys have known of the videos that I was creating, and you've really appreciated it, and I got a lot of attention because you guys featured me in some really neat ways, which was wonderful. And I said, I'm coming back to do this, but I noticed in the fine print, because I was reading the fine print as I registered to drive for Uber again, I told them, I noticed in the fine print that you say there's no social media allowed. And so I wanted you to know, I want to do social media in the context of Uber. And I wanted you guys to figure this out with your legal team and sort that out. So I called them a few times and they said they'll get back to me, but they've never really got back to me. And I think it's because, in my estimation, they're probably just saying, let's just wait and see how this goes. If it goes bad, then we'll kind of shut them down. If it goes good, then we'll try capitalize on it. That's my guess. I don't know. But yeah, so for the most part, this whole experience, it's kind of like a new venture. And so hopefully it turns out well. But it's a risk. It's a risk we take, right? Eddie says, I've seen people record their Uber trips, but not many live streaming them. Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah. I would say, yeah, it's a very neat idea. And I imagine there are lots of kinds of, it will definitely turn out, says Anderson, well, because I had that feeling, sir. Yes, I love it. Thank you, Anderson. I feel good about it too. I feel good that the kind of content I create is honoring to Uber as a brand, So it's not that I'm bringing them bad. It's not like I'm bringing them anything bad by way of attention, right? I'm not discrediting them. I'm not bad mouthing them, and I'm posting everything for accountability, including like my disclaimers to try and help my riders feel like they're safe, So yeah, I want to leave a lot of breadcrumbs that will enable the like Uber to make their determination on seeing that this is in their benefit, I guess, right? And one of those things that I really appreciate in my experience is that I'm able to I'm able to I guess bring value to all the jobs that I do, so that it's a good experience for those who are experiencing it. Anderson, not yet. I haven't had anyone summoning me yet. I might want to drive a little bit here to get to another location where I'll be a little closer. So this live stream episode, which is I think the second one, this is the second episode, I might bring this one to a close so it's underneath an hour, and maybe start a new one with the next ride that comes in. So that's probably a good idea. Thanks for the chat, you guys. I so appreciate it. Hey, that's okay, Anderson. When my riders are here, they have my attention. When you guys are on here, I really appreciate you guys being on here, and so I'm going to give you all the time I'm able, because that means a lot to me as well. So thank you. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next live stream, okay? Cheerio.